of the ways that we shoot ourselves in the foot is by letting conviction of a crime, a felony, act as automatic disqualification for many jobs, sometimes even most jobs. And that is, again, a direct result, a direct descendant of the process of branding felons. We branded people in their face in ages past, and so we're still figuratively branding people. When we say they got a felony conviction, they can't have a job serving ice cream or something, or whatever it is. That often bears no relationship to whatever it was they went to prison for or they were convicted of in the first place. There are a number of things number of ways that we do things that have simply grown like Topsy without any particular logic or reason behind that would explain that growth, other than it's the way we've always done it and we're going to keep doing it that way, even if it's wrong. What has traditionally happened when somebody gets out of prison, at least in Texas, over years ago they got what they referred to as a kill me quick suit, because it would shrink really fast if it got wet and they would have a hard time getting out of it, and they got a new suit and a bus ticket. And that was their re-entry preparation. Well, some years ago, my wife, Twyla, and I were at a conference at which we were discussing, and we went to a number of conferences together, where we would discuss new programs in criminal justice and what we were doing in Austin and things like that. And Twyla mentioned to a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, who was at that time the director of the National Institute of Justice, Jeremy Travis, who is now the president of John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York City. But Twyla mentioned to him, she said, what I'm wondering is, when people get out of prison and they come back and they re-enter the community, what happens then? I mean, is anybody paying attention to that? And I saw a light bulb go on in Jeremy's eyes, and he started talking about re-entry. And so we created in Austin the re-entry roundtable, which consists of a whole, it's an offshoot of the Community Justice Council, but it focuses specifically on re-entry. What are we going to do with all the people who get out of prison and are kind of dumped out on our streets? We found out that the state jail, to which low-level felons are sentenced, mostly from Travis County, but from the rest of the state as well. And it's also used as a place where people are held temporarily before they're released from more serious crimes from other prison units. So we discovered that people who were being released from the state jail were being taken by bus from the state jail to the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army headquarters is 1 block from 6th Street, which is the entertainment district in Austin, which has bars and music venues. It's famous the world over. Right in the heart of that part of town was located the Salvation Army. That's where they were taking the recently released inmates. And we were wondering why there were so many vehicle burglaries happening around Salvation Army. Well, duh. I mean, of course, that was what, I mean, it was like we were pouring gasoline on a fire. And so we started something different. I sent an assistant district attorney out to the state jail, and he would interview people who were leaving, who were being discharged one at a time. Where are you going? Your mama know you're getting out? Where is your mom? Where's your family? You got a place to stay? And he would find them a place in a halfway house. Once they got to the halfway house, they were not in a criminogenic atmosphere. It was an atmosphere that focused more on rehabilitation than on working their deal. And I don't know what the recidivism rates were specifically, but I know that most of them did not recidivate in my jurisdiction. One of the programs that we did, one of the programs that worked really well was community prosecution, where we would assign a prosecutor to a particular part of a town, and we had a prosecutor that worked downtown. The neighborhood, we called him the neighborhood DA, and his job was to kind of be in the downtown neighborhood, prosecute the crimes that came out of there, and meet with the neighbors, and generally get to know people. Again, this is all about relationships. Community justice and restorative justice, they're about relationships. And so our neighborhood DA downtown, a downtown DA, would go out and meet with the guys who are about to be released from the state jail, and ask them questions and all that. And then we got the police department to send 2 police officers in a police car to pick up the offender or the recently released person and take him to a halfway house in some other part of town than downtown. And the result of that was that the crime rate plunged. The crime rate downtown did a nosedive. And the downtown merchants thought that we were geniuses. And it was just a matter of taking the gasoline away from the fire. You know, it wasn't rocket science. And so that program was a great success, a huge success, because it worked, and it was problem solving. We got a problem. What's the problem? Lots of vehicle burglaries. Well, why is that? Well, we're dropping off vehicle burglars a block away, and what do you expect would happen? And so we did something different, and the result was that we had a lower crime rate everywhere. Vehicle burglaries went down everywhere, but especially downtown, and other kind of crimes were reduced downtown. Efforts to reform the criminal justice system, or to address problems in the criminal justice system, without first addressing the needs of the community, is like building a house on sand. Neither will stand. Neither the community nor justice will stand unless the needs of the community are met.